গুড মৰ্ণিং। মোক আজি কেইদিনমানৰ পৰা ইউটিউবত মোক মেছেজ দি আছে যে ছাৰ আমাৰ থাৰ্ড চেমৰ মেজৰ পেপাৰখনৰ পেপাৰখনত ইংলিছত দিব লাগে, ইংলিছ মিডিয়ামৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীখিনিৰ কাৰণে। গতিকে মই ভাবিলোঁ, যদিও আমাৰ কলেজৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালী ইংলিছ মিডিয়ামৰ বহুত কম ল'ৰা ছোৱালী আছে, তথাপি মই ইংলিছ মিডিয়ামৰ এটা ভিডিঅ' দিম বুলি। গতিকে today we will discuss about what is measurement, what are the types of measurement, what are the characteristics of measurement, and what are the measurement tools by scales of measurement. So as we all know that measurement is finding out the quantity of some commodity or character in some definite units. It means to transfer or to convert something in some units. Suppose 1 kg, so we are 1 kg of atta, so we are transferring the atta in some units. It means finding out smallest or biggest, or to know how much or how less. So measurement is basically we basically do to find out whether it is biggest or smallest, or which is less or which one is bigger. So the purpose of measurement is to find out these things. A definition provided by Guilford that measurement is the description of data in terms of number. So Guilford explains measurement in his words and said that measurement is nothing but description of data or anything in number. So it is a very simple and a very short definition. So for your exam it will be very helpful to remember that measurement is a description of data in terms of number. Another psychologist, Stephen, argued that measurement is the assignment of number to objects or event according to the rules. So here it also emphasizes that measurement gives number to something, so but according to the rule. So it is also important. We cannot give according to our wish. It should be given according to the rule. What is so these are the simple things. There are two more definition also given by that Bradfield and all these things, but for your exam I think two definition is more than enough. So here we come to the types of measurement. So what are the measurement types? So when we discuss or when we study in education regarding the measurement, we find there are two types of measurement. One is physical measurement, another is psychological or mental measurement. So education mainly deals with psychological or mental measurement. So let us first discuss the physical measurement. Physical measurement exists in physical and material world, and it concern with dimension like zero, size, weight, length, volume, etc. So physical measurement is mainly deals with the physical world or material world, like size, weight, length, volume, etc. So here suppose we used to measure we want to measure a length of a table. We use a ruler or a meter, and we will place the one point of the table to 0 and another point we will measure, and what will come in the ruler, that will be the length of the table. This very simple, and that is this rule is applicable in everywhere of the world. So in physical measurement, let me discuss some characteristics of the physical measurement. In physical measurement, units can be referred to a 0 point and to a particular point. 4 means 4 feet. So if we say that this table is 4 feet, so by 4 feet we have to understand, we can understand that table start from 0 and it is 4 feet. And if we say that another table is 2 feet, so we can say that this table is half of that table. So here 0 is absolute point, here true 0 is there. In physical measurement, units of measurement have same value in everywhere. So if we find a table 2 feet in Shivsagar, we will also find the same value if we measure the same table in America. So in physical measurement, the rules or units of measurements are same value everywhere in the world. Then it implies that units bearing the same name must have the same value. If we kg, then liter have the same value, and if we say that this one packet of biscuit is 20 gram, another biscuit is 40 gram, so the 20 gram biscuit packet is the double of 40 gram. So there that implies the same value. We cannot say that no, this is not half. Physical measurement is complete itself, and we can measure whole amount of particular physical admission. In physical measurement, the dimension, whatever the dimension is there, we can measure the full. There is no chance that we have left 10%, 20% or 40%. This is not done. These things are not there in the physical measurement. If we measure the length of the table, and if we say that this table is 4 feet, that means this table is 4 feet. We have not left any portion of the table unmeasured. So this is physical measurement. It is absolute and conveys definite meaning. It is absolute. It cannot be changed. If Sahidul Ahmed measure the thing, and if we find that the table is 4 feet, Ram, Sham, Jodhu, Madhu, whoever is measured with the same of the same table, she or he will also get the same number. So this is physical measurement. But what is mental measurement? Mental measurement is something different from the physical measurement. Here we don't have the true point. If we measure a psychological measurement are already mainly concerned with the mental measurement, like intelligence, like attitude, like beliefs. So these things are whatever the things related with our mental life, and if we want to measure the mental life of a person, that is mental measurement. So here the measurement is more complex than the physical measurement. Physical measurement, if we have the tool, if we have the gadgets, we can easily measure. But here in psychological measurement, the measurement process is complex compared to the physical measurement. You need experience, you need dedication, you need knowledge to practice this psychological measurement. Let us go to the characteristics so that we can have a good concept of the psychological measurement. In psychological measurement, there is no true zero. This is the most important point. You should remember. In the psychological measurement, there is no true zero. If a person measure the intelligence of a particular boy and found that that particular boy have zero intelligence, he refers that this boy doesn't have any intelligence. It does not mean that the boy have zero intelligence. If another person measure his intelligence, he may find that this boy have 10%, 20% or 30% measure intelligence. So in psychological measurement, zero does not refer the true zero. Should keep in mind. It is relative. Then another thing is that psychological or mental measurement is indirect. It is not direct. You cannot directly measure the intelligence of a particular person. You have to rely on another things to measure the intelligence. Suppose if you want to measure a boy's intelligence, what you will do? You will give him some question. Suppose maths question, suppose regional logical questions, reasoning question. You will give those things, and based upon the performance of that boy in those things, you will come to the conclusion about the intelligence of that particular boy. So it is indirect, it is not direct. You cannot directly measure the intelligence, that this is the 0 point, this is how much this is this much of the intelligence, you cannot measure. So there is another thing. That another thing is that units. What units? That it is not possible to measure psychological characteristics in terms of constant unit, as it possible to find out the length or weight or any objects. So it is not constant. The units are not constant. 10 and 20 is not double. If one boy has 10 intelligence, IQ of 10, and another boy is IQ of 20, it does not mean that the 20, that boy B who is having IQ of 20 is the double of IQ of boy A, that is which one is IQ of 10. So it is not constant. Then another thing is that it is subjective. What? It is subjective. So that is another thing, that mental or psychological measurement is a subjective evaluation or measurement. It depends on the individual. It varies upon the individual. If I measure a particular psychological, I measure a boy or a girl's intelligence, I found something. If another person measure, he may find a different point or different IQ level of that particular boy or girl. So it is subjective. Now comes the most important thing. What is that scale of psychological measurement? I have done something mistake here in scanning the thing. It is come wrongly. So first thing is nominal scale, then ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale. So psychological measurement, we have three scale: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio scale. So here comes nominal scale. Let us go directly to the characteristics, so that we can, or the sum up, so that we can have a clear vision about the nominal scale. A nominal scale represents the lowest level of measurement. In psychological measurement, nominal scale refers the lowest level of measurement, and ratio scale is the highest level of measurement in the psychological term. So a nominal scale represents the lowest level of measurement. I think I not then another number 2, a nominal scale classifies person object in 2 or more categories. It simply classify boys or girls, water or petrol. It doesn't it do not deals with the other things, that which one is big, less, other thing. No, it's only simply classify the things in 2 parts: rural, urban, it may be, boy, girl, it may be, merit, unmerit it may be. So it simply classify the things in two terms. A person object of a given category has a common set of characteristics. How it classify? Based upon the common characteristics, they are simply classify the thing in two terms. Like for example, boys or girls. So boys have the same characteristics, girls have the same characteristics. So it's what you do is classify the things in its boys, its girls. Nominal scale does not imply an estimate of magnitude. It's which boy is taller, which is shorter, which girl is shorter, which girl is taller. It does not concern with those things. It's only simply classify the things. In nominal scale, we can find frequencies of categories. So it's only classify the things. It take advantage of property of identity. So it's simply identify the things. Oh, okay, this is boy, this is girl, this is from rural, this is urban. So like this. In ordinal, what is ordinal scale? In ordinal scale, we rank people on some dimension. First, we classify the things. This is nominal. Now, ordinary scale, what we do? It's classify the thing, and moreover, is what they do in this scale. They rank the people according to their dimensions, on some dimensions. Suppose on mark basis something. So this scale is known as ranking scale. Ordinal scale is also known as ranking scale. So let us go to the sum up. So what is this? In ordinal scales, not only classify person or objects, but also rank them in terms of some degree. It's classify the things in two categories. Moreover, it's give rank. Suppose boys, we have classified boys and girls in a mathematics exam. So boys are separated and girls are separated. So now what we can do in the, if we apply that ordinal scale, after classification we will give that okay, this boy has got first rank, this boy has got second rank, this boy has got third rank. So in ordinal scale, beside giving classification, we are also giving them rank. In ordinal scales, intervals between rank are not equal. But another thing is that in ordinal scales, interval between ranks are not equal. Suppose 1 rank holder, 2 rank holder, 3 rank holder. 1 rank holder got 80, rank 2 holder gets 60, and rank 3 got 55. So rank 1 got 80, rank 2 got 60, rank 3 got 55. See, here the rank are given on base upon the number, but the ranks are does not carry the equal differences. Isn't it? No, it's not equal, because the rank 2 and 3's difference is only 5, whereas rank 2 and 1 difference is more than 5, means it's around 20. So the in ordinal scales, intervals between the rank holders are not equal. In ordinal scale, we have classification and magnitude. Yeah, we have classify and magnitude. The rank are given, but is these things are given. In ordinal scale, we can use a few statistics methods such as correlation, test of significance. In ordinal scale, we can use some statistical tools to find out the correlation or test of significance. It has property of order. So see, it will give you the rank according to the dimension. It has not the equality of adversity. So it doesn't have the equality, because ranks are given on the marks ranks, but it does not implies that there is equal what to say intervals. Then here come the interval scale. Interval scales not only give us the classification and rank, but it also give us a clear picture of the interval, how that units of uh, difference. Some units or an interval scale are equivalent of all points on that scale. So directly let us come to the sum up so that we have a clear picture. An interval scale has all the characteristics of a nominal and ordinal scale plus predetermined equal intervals. So if we use a interval scale, we can also understand the intervals between the ranks. But in ordinal scale or in nominal scale, we cannot do that. So that equal intervals, we can find out the intervals between the rank holder. They do not have a true 0 point. Here we have already said that most of the psychological measurement doesn't have a true 0 point. Most of the tests used in psychological testing represent interval scales. It is also important that most of the tests which are used in the psychological research or psychological consultations are interval scales. All statistical methods like measurement, standard deviation, correlation, etc., can be applied to data obtained in an interval scales. So, in analyzing of data which are gathered by interval scale, we can use mean, standard deviation, correlation, etc., to analyze the data. An interval scale involves classification, magnitude, and equal size of units. So here we can find the difference between the what rank holders clearly. We can add or abstract a constant or multiply or divide score by a constant without destroying the relationship between the score. Yes, we can minus. Here will, if first rank holder is 80, second rank holder is 60, so if we do the minus so we clearly got that first rank holder is 20% more than the second holder. So it is clearly in interval scale we got the unit. Then ratio scale. So let us come to the sum up. A ratio scale represents the highest and most precise level of measurement. So in psychological measurement, the ratio scale is the highest scale. A ratio scale has all the advantages of other types of scales, and in addition it has a meaningful true 0 point. So in ratio scale we have a true 0 point. Most physical measurement representing ratio scale. So we have in the beginning of this chapter we have said that there are 4 types of psychological measurement. One is nominal, interval, ordinal, and nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio scale. But thing is that the ratio scales is the highest point of the psychological measurement, and it has a true 0 point. So it is almost like that measurement of the physical it's almost like the measurement of physical measurement. So it is like the physical measurement. All statistics appropriate for lower level of measurement can be applied to data representing a ratio scale. So we can use that thing. Ratio scale is unique into multiplication by positive constant. So here it is another characteristics of the ratio scale. So let us sum up about the ratio scale. So ratio scale is the highest level of psychological measurement or psychological mental measurement. It's at a true 0 point. It's like the physical measurement. It can apply all the psychological tools to analyze its data gathered by the ratio scale. and it has a positive unique what to say ratio scale is unique up to multiplication. So we can do multiplication in the ratio scale also. So here are the things regarding that psychological testing, that one of the area in psychology in which we can claim to have a ratio scale psychophysics, but there is nothing is in the way of statistical method that needs a ratio scale of measurement of empirical quantities. So these are the things I think you have understand, and if you have any problem, because this is the first chapter I have discussed for the third semester student in English medium. So if you find anything difficult to understand, please comment in that comment, so that I can improve my teaching based upon your feedback. Thank you.